Hello and welcome to another RostyMaths video. I'm so glad that you decided to come back and join us again after we had a few videos out and so on. So it must mean that you are enjoying this series. So we're back on our Year 7 number series, our Year 7 math series. We're still doing number. As you can see, we got lots to do. So tonight we're going to go into multiplying. So we're going to look at some written methods, two written methods I'm going to show you in this video to keep it nice and short on multiplying numbers. So again, please make sure that your times tables are up to mark, and if it's not up to mark, check that link I've got above the video right here to go and check that video out. Alternatively, wait until the end and I'll have a card at the end to show you how to go and get onto that video. Anyway, without further ado, let's go. So we're going to be multiplying today. So we're going to use a couple of methods on this one, and you'll notice I've got my questions pre-populated there. So we're going to use a couple of methods. The first method we're going to use on that far side over there is going to be the short multiplication method. I really do like that method. It's so slick, so fast, really easy to use. If you're on your times tables, you can make mistakes. Over here, I'm going to use the grid method. Okay, that one's a bit longer, a lot easier to understand, and also you're less likely to make a mistake. All right, let's jump straight into our short multiplication method. So for this one, I'm going to take my 357 and then I'm going to times that by 34. One of the first things I want you to notice straight away is that I lined up my units with my units and my tens with my tens, and I have no hundreds to line up with that 100 over there. So that's job number one. Make sure you line it up properly, and I am going to be timesing here. All right, let's jump into it then. So the first thing is, make sure you know your times tables. So 7 times 4 is going to be 28. Now I can't put the whole 28 there. I'm going to put the 8 there, and I'm going to carry the extra 2 just down the bottom there. And then I'm going to now go 4 times 5. Well, that's 20. And I've got an extra 2 here, so add that on. So that becomes 22. Just mark this off because I don't need it anymore. Bring the units for the 2 there and bring the other 2 from the 20 just over there. So I'm going to need that in a minute. So I brought the units there, and then I brought the tens just underneath there. Now I'm going to go 4 times 3. Well, that's 12. And then when I add this 2 onto it, that gives me 14. So I'm going to put my whole 14 in there. All right. Now that's looking pretty good. Now I need a little bit more space. I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff I've done. And now I'm going to multiply by this 30. Yes, I said it right. This number is not 3. It is actually 30. And because I'm multiplying by a multiple of 10, which is 30, I'm going to need a 0 on the end there. Okay, because if I'm multiplying by a multiple of 10, I will then expect a 0 to be on the end, won't I? So that's why I've got a 0 on that end. Now I'm going to multiply by this 30. Well, now I can call it a 3, but really it is a 30, but I've qualified that by putting a 0 there. Okay, 3 times 7. Well, that's 21. So I'm going to put the 1, I'm going to draw a line here, by the way. I'll put the 1, and then I'll carry the extra 2 just there. Now I'm going to go 3 times 5, that's 15. And then add this 2 onto it from that 21, add on that 2, and then 15 all of a sudden becomes 17. So I'm going to put my 17 here. I'm going to carry this 7, and then I'm going to bring this 1 over because I'm going to need that in a minute. And then finally, 3 times 3, that's 9, plus this 1 makes 10. So 1, 1, and 0. Now the next thing you'll notice here is that when I multiplied my numbers, let's get rid of this as well. When I multiplied my numbers, units, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, they're all lined up very nicely. All right, cool. Now we finish off by adding all of these together. So 8 plus 0, that's 8. 2 plus 1, that's 3. 7 and 4 is 11. Carry the 1. and then 1 plus 0 is 1, and that extra 1 makes 2, and then you have a 1 there. So my final answer for this question is 12,138. Absolutely fantastic. All right, and that's the end of that question. Now let's go on to the second method. Obviously, if I went a bit too fast, you can always pause the video, go back to the point that you need to go back and just go over it a little bit slowly. Make sure you listen to every word I'm saying. I never waste words when it comes to these things. Okay, so please make sure you're listening to the words. Okay, good. On this one, I'm going to use the grid method. And on the grid method, what I'm going to do is I need to check my place value. So this is hundreds, tens, and units. So I'm going to draw a grid with 300, 5 tens, and 7 units. And I'm going to split that up like so. And then this is actually 34, 3 tens, and 4 units. So that's going to be 30, that's my 3 tens, and that's my 4 units. All right, fantastic. Now I'm going to work out what goes in the middle, and then we're going to add that all up just the same. And if we did it right, then we'll get the same answer that we have there. So let's go. Again, your times tables, vitally important. So wait till the end of the video. I'll have a card to show you the video on times tables. All right, because I know my times tables, I know 3 times 3 is 9. Don't forget I'm timesing, yeah? So 3 times 3 is 9. I'll put the 9. But because it's hundreds and then a 10, then that's going to be 9,000. Or what some teachers might tell you, count how many zeros there are and just add that many zeros there. I don't like telling students that because it's bad math. It's cheating, okay? That's 100 times 10 means 1,000. Okay, right, let's go. Then I do my 3 times 5, that's 15. And again, a 10 times a 10 equals 100, so I need 2 zeros there. And then 3 times 7, that gives me 21, but it's just a 10 there, so 210. And then down here, 4 times 3, or 3 times 4, I keep pointing in the wrong direction, 3 times 4, that's going to be 12, but this is hundreds, so that's going to be 1200. And then over here, 4 times 5 is 20, put the 20 first, and then we've got a 10, so that becomes 200. And finally, 4 times 7 gives us 28. And then that's our box filled in. Once we have the box filled in, now we can actually put all the numbers down on the end. So what we're going to have is I tend to go from the biggest to the smallest. It makes life easy. So 9,000. Don't forget to line up your hundreds, tens, and units and so on, okay? Then we've got the 1,500. Then the 1,200, then what have we got? The 210, then the 200, and then the 28. And then we're going to add all of those up to see what we get. Well, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 plus 8, that's just 8. Let's get my 8 in there. Probably best to choose a pen. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 2, that's 3. So that's going to be a 3 here. And then now we're into the hundreds. 0 plus 5 plus 2. So that's 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus another 2 is 9. Plus another 2 is going to be 11. So bring the 1 and carry this 1. Now we're going to do the thousands. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Plus this one makes 12. And there we have our full 12. And the answer is the same. And that ends that. So which was your favorite method? Method 1, method 2. I particularly like method 1 because it's much quicker, it's much more concise. Method 2 takes a little bit longer, but you're less likely to make a mistake in the method 2. You will most likely make a mistake in method 1. Now, one last thing I want to mention that I did not mention in this video so far is what if we had decimals? So what if this was 35.7 and this is 3.4. What do I do then? Well, you got a couple of choices. Your choices are, and the choice that I will choose is I will remove the decimal and still work out my question just the way I've done it. And then when I'm finished and I got my answer, I will then recognize that, well, look, this was divided by 10. This was divided by 10. So the answer needs to be divided by 10 2 times. So when I divide it by 10, my number moves, the decimal is here. I divide it by 10 again. So the answer would be 121.38 and so on. So if you had a decimal, don't be afraid of it. Just remove the decimal, work it out as you normally would, and when you're finished, count your decimal places and put your decimal back in the correct place. And it's as simple as that. All right, everybody, so I hope you enjoyed this quick multiplication video. I hope it was really useful to you. If it was, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share the videos with anybody else that might need to see it. Look out for these windows here. One that's going to take you to the multiplication video that I've done on how to cheat on your times table, some of the best times table tricks, and the one down here that's going to take you to the playlist that gives you all of the videos, hopefully in the right order. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.